Got it. It was just
6:02 p.m. We are calling the meeting to order. Let's go ahead and do roll call and introduction of guests. Let's go ahead and start with John
Christie, VP.
Krista Price, board chair.
Lauren Dieter.
Lynn Bragg.
Kevin Silverson.
Shelby Percy, finance HR. Sorry, I'm trying to.
George China, CEO.
Tico Vegas, rec center manager.
Fred White, maintenance manager.
And then online we have Norma Ayala,
Yes,
board
here.
member. And it looks like Kelly Cooney as well. And do we have anybody else? I don't think so.
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Board, do we have any, did you review the meeting agenda? So I'd asked Shelby about number 7. So she's having the May or the, what month are we in? April. So it'll be March's meeting minutes. She'll have those done in May.
Yeah.
And I would assume if I want to talk, I'll talk under number 12 then. Was that correct, Shelby?
Yes.
Okay, and then under other business, I just wanted to be able to ask about the trails. So just a brief little question about the trails on number 13. But other than that, if we don't have any adjustments, Dawn, do you have any adjustments or Norma?
I don't.
Okay, if not,
I did not.
Okay, thank you. If I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda presented with.
I'll second.
Thank you, Norma. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. All right, we are going to temporarily adjourn our regular board meeting. We are adjourning at 6:04 to convene the 2024-25 budget committee meeting. I am going to ask for nominations on the budget committee chair. However, I would like to nominate Lauren Dieter. If there's any other nominations, please state so. Otherwise, I'll take a second.
I'll second.
All right, do we have any other nominations on a budget committee chair? All right, all in favor of Lauren Dieter as the budget committee chair?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Passed unanimously. And then Lauren, we are going to turn that over to you.
All right, so we'll open the budget committee. Do we have a agenda for the budget committee, how we're running it, or?
It's on the regular agenda.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're 4.2 right now.
All right, so we're calling the budget meeting to order. And then we will turn it over to Shelby for the budget proposal.
Okay, so what you have in front of you is this year's proposed, or this next year's proposed budget. So it's for 24-25. And as we go through here, we will look at the fact that we've got the actual data from 21-22, 22-23, and then last year's adopted budget 23-24, which we're currently in. The big differences in last year's proposed budget versus this year's proposed budget is the jump in the personnel services, which we did a big study this last year to look at the market assessments and values of all of the positions to see if we were in range for their salaries that we were paying in. We found that some of our positions were where they needed to be and some of them were not. And so this year, with talking with George and the rest of the management team, we decided that we had enough room in the budget to jump everybody onto that pay scale. And we also changed the health benefits from a previous plan that didn't give as much coverage for our employees to another plan that gave better coverage with minimal cost change. The rates were already going to go up a little bit this year. So we looked at that and increased that. Materials and services, there was increase for inflation, because inflation, as we know, has been kind of crazy. Our insurance cost has gone up quite a bit, unfortunately. We had a walkthrough with the insurance agent as well as our risk management, and found that there was some of our buildings and areas that weren't on our schedule. And so they've gone through and added those things, and it did increase our cost for that. And then we're also increasing the program costs because we have a lot of recreation programs that we have added this year and next. And then the decrease in capital outlay was mostly in the future projects section that we have. And that was to help offset the cost for inflation and for the increase in the salaries. So those were the big differences that we have.
Well, I have a question right off the bat.
Yeah.
I'd like to know, as far as the study,
Mhm.
did you use like throughout the state of Oregon for the study, or did you just use like, would you use the same parks, the same size? Or did you use districts that were just a little bit safer?
So we hired a third party entity to do the study, okay? And what they do is they take the jobs.
Yep.
And then they look at, they base it on Portland, but then geolocate it to Hermiston. Okay, because
Okay.
unfortunately, in the state of Oregon, there's not very many parks and rec departments that are equivalent to us with what we have in the town and all of that. So they have to base it on the closest city and base it on the job and the duties that we have.
Okay, and then the other question I have is, I'm saying, because we use the same thing for Boardman, for vector control
Mhm.
year after year. I'm just kind of curious, why isn't the insurance and all that stuff like laid out on an annual basis? Because like right now, it's just missing, it's just one lump sum.
So previously, it was out like this, and then we actually created these other entities or other categories down here to kind of group them
Combine it
together.
together.
Yeah, to group them together to more appropriate categories. So,
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So I see down on line 31 of LB 30, page 1.
yes.
We are allocating a transfer to the rec center of 35,000.
So this is actually going to create a reserve for the rec center.
Okay.
For repairs, because we currently do not have
That
something
goes-
specifically for that.
Okay, and that goes along with my other questions that I noticed that we're putting money back into some of these other reserves where we had done
Correct.
away with that.
Yes.
So,
So we are gonna put more money into the reserves specifically for like the lighting upgrades in the campground in the park, sewer upgrades. Our sewer down here is gonna be, it's in dire need of
Mhm.
needing to be replaced, so we've got to start building on funds for that to incur to be able to.
so I
accommodate those costs.
remember when we moved money out of those, like the sewer and the electrical and lighting, we moved money out of those specifically for what reason? Do you guys remember?
So the sewer one hasn't had money in it since I started.
Oh, it hasn't?
No, it's just been sitting there empty for at least 4 years. And then the electrical one, we did use that reserve, which was only $6,600 last year to help upgrade some of the electrical in the campground.
I
last year.
must have moved it a long time ago then. Where we stopped putting money in, you think, to those?
We stopped putting money in, thinking that there was enough money in for
Okay.
capital outlay.
Okay, yeah,
We wouldn't need to have a reserve that was tied
Okay.
only to that.
okay, so we're
There
just
was
gonna go
very
ahead and start
little
those back.
in any of them. I think there was $4,000 the most.
Okay.
in Sewer.
Okay, so we're just putting money back into those reserves,
Right.
and then you're starting a new one then for the rec center.
Correct.
Okay, and the rec center then, so. I mean, that could be anything, like, obviously, it's not programs, because we're putting that under
No,
something
It'll
else.
be built
And it's not
mainly for repairs and
like major repairs in the
major
future,
repairs.
because
Yes.
we're already putting our repairs under our normal maintenance, right?
Correct, but this will set aside
This is for
money
future,
for future, because we know that
right, if our.
we're gonna keep
yeah.
having things that we'll have to replace.
Right.
So at least it establishes some kind of money That's
Yeah.
marked for that, so we're not
Okay.
going, oh my gosh, we don't have the funds.
Yeah. Okay,
Am I right to think that with those reserve funds, there has to use, can you move? Once they're established, can you move those, or do they have to stay with it? Like, I'll be honest, $35,000 for the rec center. I think starting.
it's for future reserve.
it's just for the start. This
future.
just
It's
gets
just
started.
for-
I was gonna say, you're gonna, I will
Yeah.
guarantee it's, I mean.
No, that's what I was,
It's established next year, and then
Got it.
each year we'll just keep building on it. 'cause
Yeah.
We know that,
so currently, Kevin, we're pulling all of our maintenance out of one big,
One bill.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this is to establish something for something major later. Yeah, okay. And then just to back up what Shelby said, I just received an email today. Don't ask me who the sender was. Anyway, somebody important. And it said that our insurance, that the insurance across the board for the park district itself, not
Yep.
medical,
Yes, this.
liability.
the
yeah,
liability.
is going due to
15 to
all-
20% is what they're anticipating
Right.
for next year.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who owns a home knows.
Yeah.
All of our insurances have gone up, so, yeah.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Do you have any kind of a breakdown on anticipations for the capital outlay?
Yeah, that's coming up.
Oh.
We don't.
Oh, we didn't do any capital outlay with them.
Not on this one.
Yeah.
So you want to speak on that?
Again,
She set forth the
They
question, so
established-
we will let you
Yeah,
answer.
somebody,
we have a whole list.
In years past, that was shared.
Yeah. There's been some
Ben.
changes on that.
Let me grab mine.
Okay, she's gonna grab hers, but, when I went to the, budget law things, classes this year, I found out there was a lot of things that we should not be doing. And so we just made the adjustments to make it so and I really worked hard with the Oregon Department of Revenue. That instructor, she got more than she bargained for, because I had tons of questions. And I came back and got Shelby involved, and she was able to make everything the way they need it legally. And that's one of those that was not part of it, but we're gonna get for you.
Yeah, so we've got it allocated to purchase another lawnmower, another vehicle, a couple of flatbed trailers, so that we can put the lawnmowers on them and move them around town. We've been told the gators can't be used, so. And then a lawn vac as part of the equipment. Improvements, we're starting to plan for the boat dock reconfiguration, where we're gonna have to give 25% of that cost towards it. So about $250,000 is what we're anticipating at this point. And then new flooring and paint inside the interior of the office, about 5,000. The new pickleball courts, we're still waiting for that to be built, so we've got to build it into this next year for about 250,000.
Isn't that, doesn't that have a grant? So do you have it on the
Yeah, the grant that,
resource side there?
yes, yep, that's already built into that. And then play ball soil conditioner to help with the maintenance on the softball and baseball field, since we now have the Little League program that we're maintaining. And then picnic tables, barbecues, garbage cans for the campground. We're constantly needing new computers just because it's an ever-changing thing. Heat pump, that was the residence, correct?
Yep.
Okay, where at the residence, the manager's residence, a new heat pump there is needed. We have over $1 million still set aside in future projects as kind of our catch-all to help balance out our budget. And then touch pads at the rec center.
Oh, the swim lanes.
Yeah,
Okay.
For the swim meet.
That's what those are?
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, swim lanes for the swim meets was 11,200, and then some equipment, ellipticals, stairmasters. Annual refinishing of the gym floor is roughly around 10,000. It's
Wow.
supposed to be done yearly, and it hadn't been done since
Yeah.
we did it, so. And then intercom system, and then another piece of equipment for booty building. As well for that, so,
those softball and baseball, that would be nice.
yeah.
To get those fields
Looking
Really
good.
sharp. I
Yeah.
mean, if you go down there now, you look really good compared to what they were 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Something like that.
Okay.
Every day they get better and better. Still working on the function vines down there, but
right.
that's always ongoing here in Gordon.
Shelby Resources?
Okay. So on our resources,
I have
go ahead.
another question. Salaries, do you have a breakdown between the rec center and the park?
That we don't because they are combined now. So both the rec center and the campground and the parks, they're all one fund.
Have
So
they changed the annual audit then? Because
yes,
before they said the rec center was a profit-making center, and so it had to be separate from governmental activities. That's changed.
it has. It has. They actually had the rec center as governmental and then the campground as a proprietary. But because we were bringing in more property taxes on the campground than what we are in operating fund,
Yeah.
it's now a proprietary fund or not a proprietary, a government fund as well. So
Uh-oh.
we combined both of those.
That makes it better.
This year was the first year
Not,
for
you
that.
don't have two sets of books then.
No,
Huh.
This will be our first, going into our first year, right?
this is the first year. We're on the
Audit
first year.
wise though?
Otherwise, it'll be the
I
first
have a
year with-
question.
Hi,
I have a
Norma.
question.
Okay.
So if they're combined, so can we still separate that? Whatever you separated for the rec center only? On earlier, a little bit ago, that you mentioned? You guys were allocating some amount just for the rec center? I mean, that won't
Oh.
affect it, right?
So yeah, are you talking about that reserve fund?
Yes.
Or yeah. That's gonna be that's a whole separate little category along with our sewer and our electrical and all that. And that's just for any kind of future advances that are gonna be big. We're gonna just save it like a savings account. That 35,000 that goes to the rec center, and it will be a separate account. Itemization, I should say, not an account.
Yeah, we were just discussing personnel.
Yeah, Lynn had asked about the payroll. And so Shelby was saying the payroll is all combined now.
She ended up getting kicked out. She's
Oh,
trying to
no.
get back in. Yeah.
Okay, well, when she comes back in. We'll
Ben, do you have any kind of a breakdown on the programs and community outreach?
Yeah, cause that went up 100,000. That's like 100,000.
283.
Yeah, like 90,000 more.
Almost, yeah, it's 90,000 more. So that encompasses summer rec in there. And then all of the baseball, softball, all of youth sports, adult sport, any programs that we have.
Including busing and all that for like,
Correct.
yeah. Okay.
Yes,
So it's that just with the gas prices going up, the little league coming in, that's this.
yes. Basketball, volleyball, all the adults, all of the classes, all of that.
So I noticed under summer recreation, that's blank, so is that now?
That's in that
Mm.
programs and community outreach. Yeah.
So
That's where that's
that's
at.
89,000 last year, and that's been added into.
Correct.
Yeah, and I don't even. Did the 89 even include busing? Yeah, it doesn't even include busing. Busing's really expensive.
Well, so I mean,
Yeah,
that's
and it-
90,000 right there,
Yeah.
added into the other.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just skipped it over.
Yeah, thanks, Lauren, for pointing that out.
Then what is included in administrative? Is that salaries? Is it?
No, so the administrative just has like our credit card processing fees, our insurance, our dues, our advertising.
Election. You can go down that list, a lot of that.
A lot of these
Yeah.
categories are looped into that.
So basically, what you're saying is like number 4 through, like, yeah,
Mhm.
maybe 13. would all be
Yeah.
in that.
The cost of the programs to run for the rec center or the computer systems to run for the rec center, for the campground, the accounting softwares, all of those. And then any copier leases,
Legal expenses?
legal expenses is included in that as well, election, any bank fees, that's all administrative.
So. I know I've said this, right, at the very beginning, I just wanna make sure I understand. The reason why you got rid of 4 through 14 is you combined it down below. I'm gonna just. You know, the public's gonna see this, the first thing they're gonna look at is go, what happened 4 through 14? As far as when they go and start
Mhm.
looking at the budget, just for future. I mean, I know why you did it, but I just know there's enough. Everyone's always looking at taxes, how much they pay, how much they pay, that might be something where if, like, even with us asking a question. You know, it's a lot easier to see, because next year if we're not here, they're gonna be asked the same about
Until they fully.
until the same
Yep.
people start coming in, and it just might make things a little bit easier. You know, even for you, and since you're, the other thing is, it'd be really nice to literally have, kind of like what Lynn was saying. Each one it'd be nice to have a little description of each one that goes through, because then,
A lot of other budgets that I've done actually.
yeah, they have the descriptions of what each one is, and then less questions are asked. And, you know, or I guess more questions are asked, but it makes things a little bit more descriptive and easier going. So, and if you need an example, I have one for the vector control, I can take to George so he can see it, or he can bring it to you. I mean, it's smooth and, you know, the meeting lasts 20 minutes, less questions and stuff, just an idea. I know you were saying that they had it, you see it like that too.
Yeah, most of the budgets, yeah, so like, you'll have administrative, which is your main heading, but then you'll have all the categories underneath.
Yeah.
So that it tallies up, they all add up, but that way you can look and say, administration, oh, what does that include?
Yeah,
Even if it's a.
So they line writing them out, or are they just putting the
Departmentalizing
names?
They're just putting the names.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, so that'd be
Not a
easy enough.
description, but it's just a name, like a general category, so you got administrative, and then so you've got office dues and fees, advertising, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, you're not itemizing the
Some
actual cost,
category,
but just a category.
it looks like you're hiding.
Yes.
Let me ask this, one sec. Did they, when you do that, are they putting the amounts that go into those?
On them, some of them they do, like. I
Yeah,
know
some of
Because
fire
here's the
department,
problem with
we-
this. This is what I learned at these classes. Is that if you put those amounts on there and we present those out like that and you approve that we have to stick to that number,
We always did.
But that's,
okay? And
and
so,
my understanding.
and that's
maybe
why-
Maybe they changed it, my understanding is you have a general category, right?
That you can put my name.
And then you have everything under there. As long as you don't go over the general category, you can move everything around.
correct, but if we present this out in the budget, then that's what they have to stick with. If you guys approve that budget, they have to stick to those numbers. And that's why, that's part of the reason for
Well,
this.
I agree with you.
You can, I can tell you,
Yeah.
that's exactly how I was explained by Department of Revenue.
Really?
Yep, that's how they told it to us, exactly.
Maybe it's something new, that's the way I'd always learned it was, as long, it's just like capital outlay. You can say capital outlay and then have all your different projects, how much you're gonna spend on each project. But yet if one project comes under, like say you say, I'm gonna spend $1 million on this road, but I only spent 800,000. Now I have 200,000 that I can move into a different category as long as it's still under capital outlay.
Understanding also.
Yeah, I just,
No,
that's,
and I guess I didn't, my budget class was 10 years ago, so maybe things have changed.
that's part of the reason we did the changes we did was
But it would, but it would
Okay.
hurt if you had administrative and then put those things.
the
underneath
list.
with-
Yeah, we could still list, we could still list
Or
them.
you could say
Yeah.
that's this.
This is what's under that.
You know, put numbers by it, at least you know what's.
Yeah, I
in
like
it.
that. Yep, I like
Yeah,
that.
you know, I don't, the dollar amount, nothing, it's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what the public's going to be asked.
I agree, especially since you had those all. I agree with
Yeah.
Kevin, you put those all and we put them somewhere else that are not listed out and the public is looking at it going, well,
What
wait
are
a
they
minute.
hiding?
Yeah.
Where's this money going?
Yeah.
So
Yep, like
Is
that.
there- is there a grant that wasn't, because you guys. Seems like you've done pretty good in the grant money in in the past. Was there like grants that weren't,
Yep, there's a lot of grants I didn't go after.
that you, well, that's right.
Yeah.
What's not?
No. We did get, some grants.
No, when you get that, I mean, that's, yeah.
Shelby, you have the floor.
Was there any other questions on those before we move on to resources? Okay, so the available cash on hand is the combination of the cash that we will have left over in the LGIP and then any operating cash that we'll have left over in our other bank accounts. Campground income, we did increase our fees this last year and separated them out to where we have an interior fee and a premium fee for the sites that are along the river. That was one of the recommendations from Good Sam when they came through. So that's something that everybody is starting to go to.
That before.
Yeah, and we did away with it.
Yeah.
It's $8.
Yeah, the recreation center income, it's more realistic as to what we're bringing in this year for all the memberships and the programs and that kind of thing. The contract income didn't change. It's based on our actual contracts that we have with all of our maintenance, for the ODOT, tribal and the city.
None of those went up.
Not.
Well, this did, isn't it?
Yeah, but
But that was already,
That was-
came in before last year's budget.
yeah, we knew we
So-
were getting it last year, so that 96 includes that.
Oh, okay. And there are no increases this year, like.
Not that we're
Not-
aware of. Yep,
Not
not
yet.
yet.
You wanna talk to your boss? No, we've already talked. We'll be renegotiating that one.
So grants, donation, sponsorship, that went down, just because we don't have as many grants that we're anticipating going out for, and we don't have as many rec center sponsorships this year as we did in previous years. CREZ is still the same. That's the amount that we have gotten the last couple of years from the CREZ specifically for the park. Does not include the money that we've gotten for the bond,
For the what?
the bond. Oh, this was money for the bond.
Taxes be less.
So my understanding of that, it has to do with the urban renewal. And the rate that's being charged for that, it created a compression. So we won't get our full tax amount because of the compression rate.
For like 10 years, right?
15,
10 to 15 years.
yeah, we'll have a low amount of money coming out for that. 'Cause-
Right, right.
Are there any other questions?
Does this include
Right.
there's income from
Which is income.
what, the SIP and some of that? Does this include?
Zip agreement?
I forgot my tablet.
That won't happen for another fiscal year. So 25-26 is when we'll
Okay.
start getting that.
What is that? I'm scared.
It's it's for the Amazon. It's for the one out on bombing range.
Yeah, cause they, instead of doing CREZ, they did a
Zip agreement with the
Yeah,
county.
So
Yep.
it's similar to CREZ, but it's, and I can't remember what it's.
I can't.
You only got 20 grand from Chris?
For the park specifically, yes. They've started giving us 2 checks. One is memoed as being for the park, the other one is memoed as being for the bond.
So
Yeah.
did you reduce your
Yeah.
ask in
We haven't,
taxes?
yes. Yeah, you'll see that on the bond
Okay.
one. So is there any other questions on the resources page?
And is that, what are those 3 cresses now? So 20 grand then is what you get from all 3 of them?
Well, there's only.
Well, we only get.
Right now, CREZ 1 is almost completely done, CREZ 2 is full bore, and CREZ 3 will start.
So,
Yeah.
hey Shelby,
Okay.
line 15 on page 3. We have a $20,000 prize.
Yes, that's what I already talked about with it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you reiterate that then?
So that's the money that we get from the CREZ that is specifically for the park and the park only. It doesn't include the money that we get for the bond. That's on a different page.
Oh, okay, that's, okay.
Cause I think the way the CREZ does it is there's 2 or 3 different bonds that they pay out individually.
Yeah.
Just specifically.
Right.
That's all the same.
Okay, the next page is the one for the rec center that is no longer a separate fund. That's why it shows 0 on everything for last
Page
year
4.
and for,
Bottom right,
yeah.
bottom right, page 4.
That is visual. So that's this one, no, maybe you and I must be looking at this one. Okay. Okay.
So this one will eventually drop off after 2 years once we get it. So that's why that one's empty. The next one is the geo bond. Lynn, you'll see that the Bank of VO loan is not on this one. It is on the next page. That was something that was brought to our attention that they needed to be on separate LD 35s. So that's why they're separated out this year. And we did decrease the ask for taxes. As you can see on line 9, last year we
So
asked,
you had a carryover of 236,900.
yes, between previous CREZ money and money that we ended up over asking based on our resolution that was caught by Mike Short. There was something missing in the breakdown on our resolution to show that he wasn't supposed to grab the full amount
Oh.
and was only supposed to grab the other. So we've adjusted that this year to make sure that our ask is less. So.
And so where do you have the CREZ money added into this?
It'll be, so we did not put it in on the budget. Because we don't know how much we will get this year from CREZ on this.
Oh,
We just
okay.
calculated in what we're carrying over
So-
from last year.
So this was part of the 236 was left over from.
Correct, from
CREZ
this
that we-
fiscal year.
So kind of the same thing that happened right now. You don't know how much you're getting, so it'll be on the next budget.
Correct. We'll just carry it
So
forward.
you'll have carryover again.
Yep. Yep. Well, next page is page 6. This is the breakout of our Bank of Eastern Oregon loan. This was the loan that we had to take out to cover the cost difference between what we got from the geo bond funds and the cost of building the rec center. This year is this fiscal year will be our last payment on this loan, so next year there will be nothing. on
That'll
it.
make Karen happy.
Yeah.
Karen and Ray,
Yep.
I told them earlier, I said, I'll take a picture of that last check and send it to both. of them. You're off the hook.
Pages 7 and 8 cover our reserve funds. All of the reserve funds, with the exception of the rec center reserve, are currently established. The equipment and the sewer reserve currently have nothing in them, so we budgeted for money to go in them as we previously talked. And then we will do a resolution at the next meeting to establish the rec center reserve, so that once this budget is approved and goes into next fiscal year, we will have that availability to transfer those funds in.
Okay. Equipment reserve doesn't have any money, it's on
The electrical,
electrical.
did I say equipment? Sorry.
I think you did some
Electric.
equipment, I'm like.
No, the electric. Where's that one?
First
It's
one.
up on
page
Yeah.
So are you still renting the boat slip?
Yes. Yeah, we still have about 3 or 4 years left on the loan that we had to do from the general fund to pay for the difference in the cost of the new. So we're still renting that out.
If you get a grant from the Marine Board, though, they really want, or, you know, state parks, they really wanted that to be free.
Well,
Would you dump the rental amounts in order to get the grant?
Well, once we establish with the new format that they want to do with it, we will not have any private docks that we charge,
yeah,
and those will be gone. all that will be reestablishing. The new plan is to go way out.
So you'll unhook all the electrical too? Or charge for that?
No, I don't think they have any plans in the drawings. There was nothing for electrical and no.
Or water,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
Yeah, they're-
none of that.
Everything stops at the pump out.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. But we won't have boats that have been sitting there just to sit there.
oh, I know.
Anything else, Shelby?
That is all I have unless you guys have additional questions.
Any questions, concerns from budget meeting?
Natasha, you're really quiet.
Thank
I
you.
heard that there was discussion about going for a bond, but the plan changed.
No, we're still in the midst of, that could still happen. We're trying to figure out, that's what those papers are up there. We're trying to get the community input on what they would like to have. We're looking at, currently I'm on the bond committee for the school, so I'm learning the process with this. And talking with the Wanaha group, which is the group we will most likely get to care of the bond process. Trying to figure out everything. We'll know pretty soon. If we're really gonna go for it or not. There's definitely needs, but that's a good question.
Is David Ulrich still do the bond stuff? Or is he totally out of it, do you know?
Karen told me about his name. I have not talked to David myself.
Like Wenaha, that must be due because they weren't doing bonds before.
Well, they're helping out the school, I can tell you that. They're the ones organizing all that. Yeah.
They've expanded then. Because they weren't doing that before. David Ulrich did, well, he's done city ones, well, he's been doing them for years, but I wonder if he retired. He was really sharp.
Yeah, I think they're more.
Ah, have to ask Karen.
Okay, so anything else from the budget committee? Any questions? Okay, so hearing no more questions, do we have a motion to accept the proposed budget?
And that can come from anybody on the committee.
Yeah.
I motion to accept the proposed budget.
We have a first, we have a second,
Second,
we have a second, first and a second, any other discussion before we take a vote? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye,
I,
any opposed saying. All right, the budget is passed at this point, we will close the budget committee meeting and turn it back over to the meeting.
all right, thank you so much.
See you guys.
Thank you.
And
We appreciate your
yeah,
time.
and thank you for your input.
I have a vector control board meeting, so I gotta get.
Okay,
There's
all right.
some snacks here on the right.
Forget your bottle.
These things are dinner.
Oh, gee, these are hors d'oeuvres.
yeah.
These are hors d'oeuvres.
You, Lynn, your bottle?
Nope, I got mine in my first.
Take some snacks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys.
You guys.
Okay.
And thank you for the input. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you'll have what you did. What else? You'll have, I'm gonna have a fact, I'll go in each board member complaining about their.
You know, only when you get rid of
Okay,
takes about time. Or keep rolling all the out of the dirt.
I think it's there he is.
You bought a roller. You roll it on the dirt and the stone brings over that puncture, rolls it over and puts it in the tray. I like that. Looks pretty good, actually.
Let's go ahead and reconvene the regular board meeting at 6:41 PM. And we still have, Kelly, are you online for, as an employee, are you here for the public? Do you have any public comment? I guess that's what I should ask. Okay, thank you. All right. Let's see here. Number 7 is very clear. We're moving our minutes to the May meeting to be approved then. Shelby on financials. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that over to you too. Again. And yeah, let's make notes about those, the words under each of those, categories next year.
Yep.
At least the words, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, anyway, financials. Let's move in, Jake.
Okay, so rec center operating fund is at 20,568.26. We have made progress on getting the 3 depository accounts switched over, so hopefully next month I will be able to have a resolution for you guys to close that. So
Yay,
I've
That'll be
got,
good.
I've got one more I need to have them confirm, and then we should be good.
awesome.
Rec center or park operating fund, 22,382.75. The LGIP for the park is 2,467,291.40. The rec center LGIP is 22,411.05. The next geo bond payment is due May 15th. So the week before, I will get a hold of you guys and let you guys know that 2 signers need to go in and sign for that. So get that done. Page 3, wait, May 15th or June 15th? Sorry, June.
Should be
15th.
June,
Did I
sorry.
say June 15th? June 15th, not May 15th, June 15th. Page 3 is the statement of revenues and expenditures. Year to date so far, we have $2,185,025.22 in total revenue. And then on page 4, year to date expenditures, we have $1,650,110.58 for a net profit of $534,1964. Are there any questions on that?
No, and that'll just look good, right? I mean, yes, we have tons more papers coming in between now and
Yeah,
end of June,
Yep.
right? So then we can use that cash that's not, yeah.
Yep. Yep. Balance sheet, so accounts receivable, it shows 70,920.14. It's money that is due to us. That includes the boat dock loan. It also includes funds that have been dedicated from the chamber for the remainder on the fish cleaning station. And then the rest of Boardman Foods memberships. And then unearned revenue, we have still $443,064.97 in unearned revenue for campground reservations and rec center memberships so far for this year. Yeah. Pages 7 and 8. So this looks a little bit different than it has previously. John had asked for percentages on the budget to actual. So this budget to actual shows our categories that we have. Actually, that's. I'm gonna get through. 7 through 11 shows the budget to actual for this year. This shows the breakdown for the categories that are actually on the LB forms so that it's in the category order. So you guys can see where we're really at on everything as far as the categories go. The percentages that are there, it shows whether we've collected more or whether we're under for what we've budgeted for. So it shows on page 8. With the LGIP and all the cash that we have on hand. We only have to gain another 4% of our resources to meet where we budgeted and said that we're going to bring in for resources for this year.
So hey, real quick.
Yeah.
On page 7.
Yeah.
You know how did we do away, what was the deal with our cancellation fees? That's line item 4002. What, was at one point we'd established them where we said we
So,
were gonna cancel.
We still
tell
have them.
people. Okay,
It's just we changed the way that we charge.
okay,
We've
So
had
we're
like 3 different
yeah,
policies on
and
it.
we're still going 14,000 in the hole.
No,
No,
that
that's
shows
profit.
that's a profit. We're
Oh,
over.
income, sorry, wrong
Yeah.
category.
Yeah, we're way.
So we are collecting for what we are spending,
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
Or what we're getting charged.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, wrong category, completely backwards there, sorry.
It's okay. So pages 9, 10, and 11 show the expenses. Okay, and the different expense categories. It shows. We still have 65.32% of our expenditure budget left in this fiscal year.
Say that again?
We've only spent 35% of our expenditures budget for this year. So we still have 65% of what we said we were going to spend. We've only spent 35%.
Where's the rest? What are we gonna be spending? That's gonna make up for that?
It may not,
It may not.
there may be,
Do you have anything, let me rephrase that, do you have anything that you're going to hit us with between now and the end of the year that's going to increase that percentage?
oh yeah, there'll be some things we'll have
I mean, any
to buy.
big ticket items?
No,
Okay,
Not that
no,
I know.
I've told,
Unless
I've,
something
No.
major.
yeah,
we're not buying a new vehicle,
no.
No.
This year.
equipment,
No, it's,
Yeah,
it,
hopefully not, hopefully.
yeah,
not,
knock on wood,
yeah,
please.
yeah,
yeah.
As far as
Okay.
we are aware, there are no big ticket items that we should be
Okay,
hitting with. Yeah.
okay,
I've really pushed everyone to be very frugal this year.
Mhm.
And I can pray you, the staff done stuff.
Okay, page 12 is the bank account activity for the pool. As you can see, there's hardly any activity going in and out of it. It's just the senior incentive programs. And we're working on getting those switched. Page 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 is the bank account activity for the park.
So, wait, so if we have all that remaining, what happens?
As far as,
is it on this one you're talking about?
I'm just basically on, like, if we have so much remaining, I mean, doesn't that,
in the expenses,
yeah, in the remaining? Like, for the expenses, yeah, for expenses.
That would
Yeah.
just be, so, we've budgeted this amount, but we've spent that amount, and then this is how much is left that we could spend
Okay,
of that.
but we don't
To
have,
stay within our budget, we don't
Okay.
have to, no.
okay. It doesn't look bad on us, cause we.
No.
Right, right.
no, it actually, it's the opposite. It actually looks better when you don't
Spend as
spend
much as you-
everything you said that you were going to.
And we shouldn't be, because we're overestimating.
We are.
We have room.
Yeah, okay, I just didn't want it to be like, oh, well, you budgeted that, so I didn't know if there was.
No, it's not like the regular government where if you don't spend it,
You
take it
lose
away
it.
from you.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. like,
It just rolls over into our cash on hand for next year.
So I have a question, George. So when, I don't know, Keiko might have to answer this one. When you guys, someone goes to the rec center and they get a new membership, how do you guys verify that they put everybody that supposedly lives in the household? Because I was at a get together this weekend. And there's an individual talking about the rec center because someone asked him to join the rec. He was like, "Oh, I have my cousins, my sisters, my brothers, my friends." They were literally he was asking, "Oh, I can just add you." So I didn't say nothing. I was there just to enjoy myself, but it caught my attention.
He didn't really join the party board.
He didn't. He was a younger fellow. He was probably like 19, 18, 20,
Or
whatever. it
maybe
was.
one we've already been dealing with recently.
Probably.
So, how do you guys verify? Cause I'm sure he's not the only one.
Sure, I'm sure there's tons of people.
I've been checking a lot of cameras because there's lots of other people who are sneaking people in as well. But that is something we've actually been talking about is, because also I feel like we're also getting people who are saying they're in district and they're not, they're out of district.
But don't you guys check their ID?
Oh, because it doesn't matter. I don't know who it is. Like, all it has to be is a 97818. That's all it is, and that's not our taxing district. Taxing district is
I thought it
different.
did matter though.
Well, no, because not all 97818 zip codes are in our taxing district. We just put everyone who lives in. Boardman,
Okay,
because we don't have the map.
Yeah.
So we have never done ID before, but they have been doing ID, especially now, and with all 24 access too, because to make sure that they really are over 18. Because that's the thing. And a big issue.
Okay, I was just curious, cause
Yeah.
that got my attention and he was like, oh, I'll just go ahead.
We literally have been asking about that because there are so many people that have, because we say it's as long as someone lives in the same household, and that is difficult to, how do we prove that those said people are in the same household?
are
But
not
can't they,
anything.
Yeah, or
like,
not,
for example, the school sends me mail about my kids.
Mhm.
I get mail, we get mail from the kids, everyone gets mail, it's also something that proves you live in that household.
Yeah, the DMV requires you to provide
Yeah.
your physical
Our
address,
residents,
right?
yeah.
You
Yeah,
guys can't do that,
but
everyone has some form of mail. It's
think-
like for the school, it says parents of Juan Bravo. That's how they prove the kid lives with you. But I'm not so much about the kids, it's more like,
It's not the kids,
It's not the
it's
kids.
the young adults,
Yeah.
ones that, yeah, I know exactly. Which one it is, but I don't think that's a bad idea.
I'm just saying, cause that's.
Check
There's no one there.
Okay.
True.
I think the one piece, right, is if you find things that are happening, I mean, also the consequence would be like, well, you just lose your membership.
Absolutely,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, I was gonna say, Luis,
If we- if we
speak up
tax-
and say,
yeah.
hey, you guys should really get a membership.
Yeah, we've had to talk to
Yeah, we
people
have
like that.
definitely.
Yeah.
As we come across them, we've told them, hey, you can't use that person's address. You have to use those.
Or you can't, yeah.
Yeah, and then we talk to the person that let them use their address, and let them know.
Or their card, we had that
Yeah,
happen,
or their
where
card.
they use their actual card.
Yeah,
and Scan it.
So that's the thing. I mean, they sign up for it, so in essence, aren't they kind of setting like a moral contract? And if they decide to violate it, then they can lose their.
They can lose it, and usually we give them a chance,
Yeah.
you know, hey, that's not appropriate, we don't want you doing it that way. If you wanna keep doing it, we're gonna just pull your file.
Cause at the end of the day, that's revenue.
Right.
3, 4, 5 people do
Sure.
it, you know.
It adds up to a lot.
Yeah.
You can.
Right.
what's an expense called final touch-up on March
Yeah.
20th for $2,255? What is that for?
You get it one more time.
It's on page 16, down at the bottom, it says final touch-up, 2,255.52.
That was the upholstery. For the rec,
All
the gym equipment. For the seats.
Great, all right, thank you. Okay,
That's a lot of money.
Is
to
that
do
the
it. They
company
cost a lot of money to do it. We don't.
Yeah.
Did 27 pieces.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did a
it's a
lot,
lot,
we did
yeah.
every single.
Not, they did all new patio.
So page 19 is our
So we did
stats
the-
for the campgrounds.
Yeah.
In March, we had 69,603 in cash that was brought in by the campground with 914 stays and 4 of them being tents.
oh,
Yeah.
all right,
Page 20 and 21 are last year's and this year's stats. For this year, for March, we had 5,322 scans, which averaged out to 172 per day. Last year, we were at 4,365, which averaged 141 per day. So our stats have gone
wow,
way up, about 1,000 scans from last year.
thank you. Is page 22 part of it?
Yes,
Okay.
oh, no, it's not her.
That's
Okay.
different.
All right, does the board have any questions on the financials? If not, I'll take a motion to approve them.
Any plans to approve financials?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Passed unanimously. Thank you so much. Old business. Um. Campground cancellation policy.
Yeah,
Is that page?
that is that page, page 22.
Page 22.
Okay, on page 22, we've had to, once we made the right change for our multiple nights, more than one night reservations, we ran into a problem with the people that just reserve overnight, one night. Because we charge if you look at on page 22, number 2 is what our policy states at this point. 2 days or more prior to the arrival, a refund is provided minus a $5 refund reservation fee and the cancellation fee equal to one night stay. So they're staying one night, they're losing everything, even if they give us in days or month ahead of time. 3 days notice. Okay. Which I'm not here to rip people off. There's something that's going on, they need to cancel. And they give us, enough time ahead, more than 2 days, and they should be getting a refund, even if it's just one night. So that's where we came up with this. It's gonna be equal to half of one night stay. Plus the $5 non-refundable reservation fee. So everyone gets that reservation fee charged onto them no matter what. Then this is for one night stays, they get half a night's charged against them instead of the full night. Okay,
Hold on. So number 1 is what it was?
no, number 2 is what it was. And that was covering everybody.
And what's
including-
number 1?
Number 1's a new one for one night stay people.
Oh.
This is the new part of it we're doing.
Okay, so you're saying, okay, let's back up to number 1. You're saying number 1 used to be,
Number
didn't
1 did
used to
not
be in-
exist,
it
did not exist.
so what happened to people that canceled on a one night reservation?
They lost everything,
Okay, that's what I was asking.
everything.
So you're, in a sense, are adding number 1 to cover for the fact that they don't lose that anymore.
They don't lose, they get half of the refund back, half the money they
So
paid.
they
into
were
it.
losing everything, now they're not.
Now they're not.
Even if they cancel it a month ahead of time?
They would still lose half of it, not all of it.
Okay, so then number 2, more than one night reservation. So let's say they booked from Friday through Sunday.
Mhm.
And they give you 2 or more days prior notice.
Yep.
They lose one night of that
One night,
Friday, Saturday.
yeah, Friday, Saturday, or if it's a week-long stay, it's only one night.
Okay. No refund at all if it's less than the 2 days prior to arrival. So if they don't cancel by Wednesday.
Right.
Okay,
And that's the policy you guys have right now, currently for everybody. We're just adding on for the one night stays. We got a lot of complaints from the one night stayers. Well, that's an easy fix. I mean, I want people to come back. Cause I can tell you, them getting money back is a key to returning. If they have to cancel.
That's why they canceled a month out.
I feel like,
Not saying I'd want to charge them half of it. There's a long time for it to go that far.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I can tell you, you look at our income. You saw that it was 14,000 more than what we budgeted for. Because that change was huge for us.
I guess the question I have is how many one night stay people do you have that are actually canceling? Like, I totally get it, like, we don't wanna lose out 2, 3, 4, 5 day people, cause those are spots and we lose that and people, trying to find a spot. But how, do we know how many actual one night stays?
I can get you that number. Okay, I will find out how many we actually do.
So I'm using the reference of Mr. Moore, if he says like, well, if they let us know a month ahead of time, you could probably fill a one night stay versus a 2 night stay,
Sure.
like, in some.
If you remember what we used to have, it was set up, there wasn't set up for a month out. I think it was 14 days
Yeah.
out,
Yeah, I remember.
we had it staged at different things, and that was a headache
Right,
to
right.
oh,
track.
yeah,
And then prior to that, we only charged them a $5 cancellation
Yeah,
fee,
that was-
period.
Yeah, we will,
So
Okay.
that was all we did. So it's been multiple.
Have you like kind of said some of these things to some of the people, like, of like what a possible, I mean, have you got feedback from any of them?
this is what I would say yes, because Kelly has been working with people on this.
Oh, okay.
She's talked to other people, other programs on trying to get this figured out. Cause I was besides our cost of our nightly stays, the rates, that was a problem, but I figured this is an easy fix. If that's what they can do, we can do, to help them out.
Well, right now they resolve it all, so I think now we're giving them a benefit.
Yeah. And to me, that will get them to come back.
I
we
don't
could-
know, I think I'd be mad also, like if I rented here and I was like, oh crap, I can't stay, and I'm just only getting half my money back when you have a whole month to book that slot.
Well, I'm getting them better than what they were getting.
I mean, we want them to, yeah, we want them,
As soon as he
Keep
cancels
it.
a month out, it's probably gonna come out. But if I cancel the month out, you don't give me half my money back, me personally, I would be satisfied. But I've given you plenty of time to rent that. I did the responsible thing, let you know I wasn't gonna be there.
Well,
I paid the
I can tell
$5.
you this, I'll share this. When they're on the phones in December, when that opened up. And people found out that there was a glitch, they're ticked. Cause they could have got on in November and signed up. And they were ticked that they couldn't get their sites.
Alrighty.
And so when people cancel. We don't do a callback for people that want to be on a wait list. We don't do that. Okay, and they have to be
You
searching.
don't have a wait list?
No,
No.
no
No, they
way.
just have to be
You know how
constantly
busy we would
searching.
be just calling people all the time? No. Not a good,
No.
that, you wouldn't want that.
no.
Well,
Okay.
my question, I have nothing to do about what goes on that ticket booth. But what are the people doing when they're not calling somebody?
Oh, they're busy, believe me.
I-
Yeah, she's so busy. There's people coming in lately. This has been. There's no way I could handle being in that job down there.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah. And we got the right person to be in charge of that right now. So, well. It's an interim till we got it open right now. We've got to follow the right procedures and
Right.
So is there a spot online that I can go if I wanna come on June 14th and I can see what's available?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just go to the
I
website.
have my technical skill, but,
Your wife could get you in.
and that's updated when soon as somebody.
And that's an immediate one, yeah. So, and we tell people that come in, that like, if they want someone at this point, want to get in on a holiday weekend, forget it. And there's weekends already, weeks in June, July, the whole week's booked out already.
So send that my way, I charge $100 a night.
There you go. They can feed with it, sleep
You
with
get a
it.
question, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yes, this is a change of policy, so yes, I did.
I move that we change the policy. As presented.
I'll second that. Do we have any other objections? Anybody want to talk about it anymore? No comment? All right, all in favor?
Wait,
Go ahead.
so can we add, because it says a refunds provide, so it's I don't know, I just couldn't.
It used to read-
Reading it.
Yeah, it
really
used to
weird.
read a full refund and people were just stopping right there. So I did take out the full out of it. So they do get a refund, but and it explains what it is. But like I said,
A
the previous one said a full refund was provided minus the $5 non-refundable reservation fee and the cancellation fee to one night stay. So we switched it to a refund.
Okay, I don't, it just, like, I would be, well, what kind of refund am I getting? Like, you're just gonna make.
Yeah, when we first started looking at, I really wanted to put in the exact amount, so they just know, oh, that's what I'm
Like a
getting.
50%
But-
refund.
But the problem is, you got the different sites. Like the premium sites are $68.
You can't do
And-
like a percentage, like 50% refund will be provided minus the $5 non-refundable reservation fee.
You want to say that instead of equaling to half of the night, say it's 50%?
It means.
Because
it's-
but it can't be a, Yeah.
That way, when people read it, it's like, oh, I get a 50% refund and they don't have
of
to.
one night stay. Yeah,
Whatever that may be.
'cause it depends on which site. I can't put the dollar amount, because it depends on
Yeah, so.
which site they're on. So. Plus they get their taxes back.
I don't know, I was just reading it to where I'm just trying to. Whatever, go ahead.
If and when you go to modify this in the future, I do agree with Norma on that.
You
Just
want
on the one
numbers?
night, on the one nighter. Yeah,
Okay.
it would make sense.
We can,
It's
we
more
can,
appealing to your eye to see.
if I put the number, the
50%
50%
of
of to half,
your-
we can do that. Is everyone in agreement to that?
Makes sense.
It does make sense, yeah. It
I'll do it.
calculates in your head easier.
Yeah, like
when
if you're
first
reading it and you're like, oh, I get 50 at least. But when you're seeing nothing, like, what am I gonna be refunded? Are they just gonna pick an amount? Or, it's kind of, I don't know. Unless you read the rest of it, which then you just have to.
Okay,
I
I'll
don't
switch,
just-
we'll change it out from the half to 50%.
So I move that we adopt this new cancellation policy with the amended changes of 50%.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Alrighty, revisit of logo?
okay. Your pack doesn't show it in color, so I want to show it in color. So if we did it on a dark jersey and we're just doing white, that's what you see in front. If we do it on a light color with dark lettering, it'd be like that. And this is the color of them.
The white shirt.
That was like on a white shirt and we wanted just to do all black, it'd look like that. And then the color scheme is that,
What have you ordered so far with this logo?
nothing. We did some test blankets where we could see it on silk, like
So you have ordered.
well, yes and no. Okay, because it wasn't this exact design. Yep, I can show you, I got it right here.
I thought we're supposed to have it.
Oh, thank you.
Let me see.
It's on the top of the budget letter.
Oh, thank you. I was looking for something that would have had it.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
So with this one, the difference is the silver it says in Boardman. If we do that in embroidery thread, we're gonna with the shiny silver. Silver. The blue is the same color as we painted the pavilion last year. And we kept sunshine with the yellow.
So that's the new logo?
This would be the new logo. So one,
After we vote on it.
yeah, it's not you guys' decision on this. We kept the fish, the fish that's hanging right here in the waters are right now. And we wanted the trees, everything's represented. We chose to go with the sunset gazebo to be the focal point, just because to me, that's the prettiest spot in the whole park, in my opinion. And so I wanted that to be our focal point on this. And then we kept our kids for youth sports, our fishing, and the trees in the park.
What about the RVs?
That's part of the park. I didn't want to put an RV on there,
Are you sure?
positive. I did not want an RV on this. Okay, I wanted something that represented us and was still pleasing to the eye. Yeah. And we went through various logos of it. The one I got printed on the blankets.
Yeah, where's that blanket?
I can show you a couple.
So we gotta choose one of those three.
No,
They're all the same.
Oh, they're all the
They're
same.
just different. It just would be
Okay.
like black. shirt,
Yeah,
white shirt
okay.
color.
Okay. That's what I was trying to, okay.
We had to use one of them or. Right, and I'll just show you the difference. So this is vinyl on it, and that's just bordered, just like. That's good.
So what about all the stuff?
This was an earlier version of it. As you can see where Boardman is on this compared to what it's showing on there.
Okay, so it doesn't go into the trees like, okay.
Correct. I felt it got too crowded.
Don't flip the wave.
Oh, okay.
The wave is correct.
Yeah, oh, yep, wave is flipped on that too. That was another thing, because the river, you want to see that? This is a silk screen.
Oh, okay.
Go shop.
Right.
Yeah, deep thread vinyl. Not silk.
Who are you hiring to do these?
Oh, we just had,
Pages.
no, was it AJ? Oh, yeah, it was AJ's. Yeah, this was AJ's. Oh, yeah. What's your turf logo? Yeah. I can remember. Oh, that one caught. I know you really, I know some of you really don't care. I understand that. But to me, we're doing all these changes and this was something I'm just going from the get-go. I did not. I wanted to get away from this. Okay.
I don't disagree. It looks too much like what we've done.
Okay. That's not why I want to get away. I want, because you're gonna see, I want to incorporate this color of this river blue. I want this on, if we changed the gazebo last year to make it front and stand out. That's why it's white with this blue. And we're gonna incorporate that and start changing that color through the whole camp.
See, now you made the original brown.
No,
It's brown right there.
well, that's a black actually.
Oh, is that
So,
black?
yeah,
I can't see.
That's all right. that's right. No, they are not gonna be black. Okay, we're not gonna have black trees or fish or kids. Okay. That's not the purpose of that. So
You guys know I don't give a shit.
I know you don't,
Like, we can get the people dirty, but it's a way.
but if you look at the gazebo and you see that blue, I mean, that just. It's not a royal blue and it's not the Riverside Columbia blue. This blue, it's what, when you see
You
that,
have something down there that's painted that?
yeah,
You painted them.
yeah, last year, the pavilion. It's all white and it has that as the accent
Like
color
the
on
one
top.
at 40.
Walk by that thing all the time.
It's something my wife
See it.
got this shit.
It's blue, what?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I'll
the
go
40,
look at it.
because we were matching and trying to make these match a little bit on there. And so I looked at that, oh, well, we're just about,
I don't want to be rude, but I feel like we're spending too much time on this logo thing and or resources on this logo that doesn't need to be spent right now.
I disagree. I think everyone doing this because things are outdated. Boardman's Pro.
We literally just
Community.
got that logo not too long.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't been. I don't know.
Well, I haven't either. I paid attention.
Well,
that logo has been
I
around.
disagree. He's wrong. I think we're.
I'm gonna say since when I was here when Ted, so that's 12, 13 years old.
That's the only one I know.
Yeah,
Well, currently.
yeah, that's, yeah.
Well, I've been here for over 30 years, so I'm sorry.
And you, well, you've seen the changes. That's not the original logo. That's
Yeah,
gone
no,
through.
that's not the original.
That's the
Yeah.
fourth. This isn't the four logos that I know of.
So how did you guys choose that logo?
Yeah.
This
that's what-
one,
Yeah.
we went through a whole process of going through, there's so many.
Like I said, so much
Versions,
time and
different-
resources spent on this logo.
30 or so
Yeah.
many different versions.
Yep. And it just started narrowing it down there, and that's just the process things do to make change. You gotta go through people to talk to and let them see them and see what you get feel from different people. Now, I understand, yep, it's hard time, and time's money. I get that. So, but if we're gonna do any changes, that's gonna happen. And I don't feel bad about putting the money toward that. Cause we hired someone to do that instead of paying more money to have someone else come in and do it. So,
I don't know. I agree. I've been with the city. They're doing their new logo. I was with the chamber. This is just Boardman's growing, Boardman's changing. It's not the same it was 30, 40 years ago.
Do we have any other comments from the board? George, are you asking for a vote?
I am. So, I will tell you this, it goes right along with our, our mission statement of changing that. To having one, so. And that just takes time you think about everything we've been doing, policy takes time, everything, so. It just ties everything, we're tying everything together, it's leading to right where we're going. So, and that's what that represents to us. I moved that we adopt this new logo, so we can have more discussion and vote on it.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Aye.
Aye.
Passed. All right, appointment of Morrow County Parks representative, so we need to, the board needs to appoint George as, so basically I need a motion for the board to approve George, being, what is the title?
It's, it is the
Boardman Park and Rec
Rec District's representative.
representative to the Morrow County Parks.
You can show them minutes that we adopted.
Yeah, I got so the minutes and they'll actually, we'll put together a letter that,
Shelby, you can word that the right way for them. Okay.
and then, if you give just permission to sign off on that.
Okay. So it can, I make a motion to appoint George as our
I'll second.
representative to the Moore County Parks. Any other discussion? No, we have a second, so all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, we are passed on that too. New business mission statement, I see you have that.
Our mission statement, we'd like to, when you vote on, is to enrich our community by fostering safe and enjoyable recreational experiences within well-maintained parks and facilities.
Let me reword that.
Again? What do you want to? What's your thoughts?
I don't feel like you need to start with to enrich, like, I think you could just start. Like. Enriching our community by fostering.
We can make it an act more active. Enriching our community by fostering, yep. There's nothing wrong with that, I like that.
I move we adopted this statement. And presented with the change that Norma brought forth. Okay.
Oh, yeah, a comma,
No, radically, I don't think you need one anywhere. No.
experiences.
After expenses, no. Leave it there.
So so instead of saying enriching, just say enrich our community by fostering safe and enjoyable recreational experiences
And
within well-maintained parks and facilities. I guess, yeah, either one, right? Enriching or enrich, yeah. Which one do you guys want? If you take out the word to, you want it to say enrich or enriching?
I think enrich is a good one. Cause then enriching and then community, that's pretty long.
Yeah,
Take out the
okay, let's take out the two.
two.
Any other comment, board?
No, it sounds good, we're good, moving direction, yeah. In direction to our mission statement, I think it's good, I think it's needed here. Some that you, paperwork, everything we're sending out to all business partners should have a mission statement, people should know what it's about.
Okay. I'll take a motion to approve the mission statement.
I'll motion to approve the mission statement with removing the two.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll check it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed unanimously. All right, on to number 11, which is district report.
I just, you guys have gotten it, is there any questions that you might have, or because all I really want to highlight is. Because there's been a ton going on, but our big activity yesterday with the Arbor Day Foundation and AWS coming down to plant trees with us. We did have a major fiasco in the sense of the trees did not get here on time. I'm worried about that all weekend because I told last I got told they'd be here at 7 a.m. 10 o'clock. So we get.
10 in the morning?
10 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Not when I,
Deliver them.
yeah, maple wells bottom. So we did get most of the trees that we received. We received 52 trees for us to be used at the down at the day use and over here at the RV park. We also planted the city park as well as in front of Sunrise Cafe and then Subway, that bird right there.
A little strip of rubber.
The little strip, we take care of it. It's a city. We take care of it. And those did not get planted. We just started digging the holes and it's so rocky. The city's gonna finish doing those 3 there. And there's 5 to do on the strip by Sunrise. They're gonna take care of those. And there's 3 left at City Park that will go in.
We're gonna do this tomorrow, right?
I think that's what Ralph was saying.
Yeah.
So, and then,
And sick leave.
no, it won't be bad. Down here, all the trees are planted down here. I'd ordered, 6 tulip trees, thank you. Tulip trees that are just gorgeous trees. When they're full blossom, but we only got 1.
What's gonna be number 2?
Well, we should have put one right there, maybe, huh? No, I gotta keep the view there.
Anybody needs any of this information online?
Good job on the grant from Laurel County School District.
Yep, that was a good one.
What's the
Hey,
loop
White?
ribbon cutting?
Yeah, the Loop did their ribbon cutting, so I went to that. Cause I'm trying to get them to come down here so they can drop people off at the park and also hook up people from the RV park to take them on town and stuff.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying to build some relationships there.
Yeah.
So,
Great.
Corey Griggs, I got talked on Chamber Talk one more time already. It's twice and before I even got here for a year. On our campground, we actually went down a little bit on the percentage wise, and that's just because we had people who are long-term leaving and just not a lot of campers coming out all the time. It's already starting to, the weekends are getting pretty full, but during the week, there's a few days that are pretty dead. So that from here on out, we'll just see them got big time. And they were, we got one hired, working in the booth, right now. And we got another opening. So we had someone, but they chose a different job. So we opened up another spot.
Did they tell you why? Did they give you a reason why?
Oh, yeah. It's a good reason. I mean, she was waiting for her business to take off, her personal business, and it
Wow.
took off.
Wow.
Right after we hired, it worked. So that's her dream job, you know.
How's the fish station? What's the feedback? Pretty good?
Yeah.
I was curious. I wanted to go down and just watch somebody.
As soon as you get out, you can go down there. There'll be someone there. It seems like there's people there all the time. Yeah. Brad, you might.
It's working as we anticipated.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had one little foobar with it, but I think it was because of we never fixed the problem from the previous one. So as soon as the line got full, it was the problem. It was there. Once the city came and helped us clear it out, we had no problem there. It was right down.
So since we have Brad on board here, let's skip over to page 28 on
I
me.
had a quick question about marketing projects. On the cemetery cleanup, did you talk to the 4-H club?
Yeah, 4-H will come in, that next weekend. Cause they set everything up on it, for for Memorial Day. So that was the original date we were gonna do for the cleanup, but that's the day they set up stuff out there, the flags and everything. So we ended, the week before. Do a little cleanup day there for the community.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna skip over 27 just for the moment.
Okay.
And let's go to maintenance on 28.
Number 2 showered, finally, got pressure and hot.
Well,
Only been 9 months.
that's the same with the girl.
Good job.
No problem.
What's the other showers, they're not getting warm. I don't know.
We,
An update.
we are trying to find that gremlin as we speak.
You know what I mean? Cause all four showers have a different temperature, you put them all on hot.
Well-
Maybe it was getting hot water to it.
One morning, the liquids don't have hot water, and I go in there, with hot water. The next day, go in, now we have no cold water, go in, there's fine. So there's a time of the day where we're losing hot water in one place, gaining it in another. And then as time changes, it's leaving one area and going back to another.
One of his locker room, that second one, if you're looking at them, second one's hot. I mean, but they guys need to turn it down, and the other two are lukewarm.
Yeah, we used to have them,
Yeah.
turn up the boiler,
The only that one in there was
because
like-
everyone was complaining.
Like,
And the handicap one, the one all the way in, it gets actually, you can turn it down. And they turn it-
all of them?
I know that for the girls too,
That's the
right?
one. The only one I could find for the longest time that was hot was the handicap.
It takes
hot.
She's saying that
You
that's
know,
the way it
that's
is for
the
the
same
girls.
for the
as well.
girls too, right?
Bathrooms.
No, no one ever complains.
Yeah, cause
I mean, they always complain when it's.
Either too hot or too cold.
so I tried that first one, freaking cold forever. That second one, that one goes a little bit warm, and then that third one, I mean, none of those are warm except for that second one.
It's weird, every time we go in there,
They were fine.
they were.
I mean, should we just let them run a little bit? Be so antsy.
Well, you said you were gonna go in and turn them on before you go in the pool, then come back and check that, how'd that go?
I didn't do that,
Oh.
but I just couldn't convince myself to waste
I get
30
it,
minutes of water
Yeah.
on 3 different showers. And then that one got warm and I was like. I mean, you probably don't need them all
I'll
hot,
be in next.
hot, cause everybody likes a different shower.
Only one should have the option, it should.
so I'm liking her suggestion, we know this is one is warmer than this one, this is this is baby bear, mama bear, and papa bear, you know?
It probably has to do with your plumbing. Honestly, somewhere you're probably pulling more hot water than it makes the other one cold.
That's what I was thinking, maybe the therapy pool was calling for hotter water somewhere else, as, you know, the pool's calling for hot water as someone's trying to take a shower. And the
Yeah,
pool's
something
taking
like
all the
that.
hot water from it.
We've been having problems with the boilers.
Yeah.
So it's gonna, yeah, but why would, my question is, why would number 2 be hot
Yeah,
and the other 3
1, 3,
lukewarm?
and 4.
And then you, I don't know about the other 2 showers, I never use them, but the
Try those.
handicap one actually is way hot. On Sunday.
It has to be inside the mixer valve because the pipes are all tied in together.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
shower 2, 3, and 4 have the same pipes coming out of the wall. Or up from the ceiling.
We just said, the only other thing we're gonna get is the people not gonna do the haircut in the shower.
Okay, so on maintenance, on the campground portion,
Yes.
so I got a call from 2 different people on. I had noticed the trail, and then I had a call from 2 different people in the last 2 weeks that made the same comment and noticed the same things I did, and so I'm just wondering if there's any plans for corrective action on it. So I noticed, down here on the curve, right past the play equipment, you know, when you're going out to the point, the grass is starting to overtake the trail, the path. So I would think that we'd wanna spray that back or something so that it's not I'm assuming it's crabgrass. It can't be regular grass if it's overtaking the path, so. But it's overtaking the path and the path is disintegrating because of the grass coming in on it. So are we gonna let that keep disintegrating the path, or are we gonna spray it back, or what are we doing? It's literally right on the corner over there.
Yeah.
As it's making the loop around the,
Right next to the pavilion, the little gazebo, just before that.
it's on the water side, it's on the, what do you call that?
Beach.
Yeah,
Good point.
it's on the beach side of the point,
Okay.
yeah. Where the grass is taking over the path, basically. Not taking it over. You can just see where it's pushing,
It's coming over it.
yeah,
Yeah. It
yeah,
just needs to be,
by about this much.
yeah, it probably just needs to be trimmed
On
back.
both sides, so yeah, if you could just take a look at it.
Yep.
Get it under control. And then, I noticed just on this end, I didn't see them anywhere else, but on this end of the park, before you even get to, I mean, it's before we even leave our campground. There were some purple flowers, obviously from the kosher vine.
So,
So just
Yeah.
make sure you get that sprayed while it's still in bloom and we know what we can identify, right?
well, we got Jim back and he's been our sprayer in the past. Previously, he's been able to use, under Ted's licensing, he was able to spray using our gators and stuff to
Yeah.
go out. He can't do that. He doesn't have a license himself. So we are working on getting, two of our staff to be licensed. But for right now, we can still spray without having a mechanical device. It's gotta be the backpack, right?
Oh,
So it's just taking a
Okay.
little bit longer right now to do the
Yeah.
spraying.
It's no electrical motor.
No electric motor.
So that way, your hand pump, you control it. If a motor sticks on and it's just spraying. it
like
won't shut
battery
off.
operated.
Right, no, nothing,
Nothing electronic.
nothing electronic or battery powered,
Oh.
gas powered, it has to be all. manual hand pump.
to spray stuff?
If you're
Yeah.
using it like that, you
Yeah.
can. So,
Well, whenever you get somebody, just
Yep.
make sure we get that.
so
I mean, that-
Jim has already started spraying.
Okay,
It just, we gotta,
We're 4 gallons at a time.
yep,
yeah,
that's exactly.
Yeah.
So why why was the water not turned on until recently?
Well, I'd say the big answer to that was, when did it start getting warm? Long ago.
I mean, but like the whole grass area that we take care of is gross, like the whole city, like the whole town looks like crap.
Okay, well, we didn't turn on the water mainly because we're afraid of freezing, number one. So we didn't even start to look at that until after spring break. But just because of the weather, I wasn't confident that we weren't gonna get some more freezing, so I'll take the heat on that. for that
are we in
decision.
charge of those parks as far as turning on the water?
Yeah.
Oh, the city parks we are.
Yep.
Okay, we tell them when to turn it on.
So we turn them on,
Oh, we turn them on.
Yep.
Okay.
so I will
Well,
take.
everything looks
I know it does,
wonderful.
I know it does.
It only takes what, 2 weeks to get it?
It
Up in
won't,
green.
this should not take long, not like last year.
Yeah.
So,
count down.
Okay.
Trade whatever they
Seven
like.
years ago, I sat in the office in Pendleton with the AD and their groundskeeper. They went to, and it saves them a huge amount of money, is they didn't water hardly any of the fields in their schools for most of the summer, and then they turned it back on like 2 weeks before school started, greened it up. And they paid them like $80,000. And they didn't have to mow it, and I was like, wow. But the guy had it figured out when he could turn it off and when he had to turn it back on. And said most people didn't care because they're not out in the ground in the summer anyway, they're at home, you know. And so I thought that was an interesting take.
well, but they're all being turned on right now. There's just a couple more places to turn on. And now that we got Jim back to start mowing, we're now getting the staff to be able to take care of everything. It may be something we need to bump up sooner, but that's the reason they weren't trained on.
All right, board, do you have any other questions for George on the district reports? If not, we will move on.
Did you have any questions about the recreation center?
I read that, no, other than, great job on keeping the events happening.
That is, my goal is to get lots of events for people to do, things for people to do.
Alrighty.
Last thing's your calendar event on there. We look toward the end there, July 4th. It's right around the
Yeah.
corner.
All right. Then, board member reports, board, do you have anybody want to talk on anything?
I do.
All right, go
I
for
have
it.
two topics.
All right,
Just cause why did we decide to go for a bond? I'm just curious, cause I've missed a few meetings, so I don't know if you guys talked about it, then I'm just curious what's the purpose of the bond?
The bond is we got some big ticket project we wanna do, and we have not set. We haven't sold on going for the bond. We haven't done any steps towards it. But one of the ideas, we gotta do some stuff building onto the rec center. We need more into that. That would include, weight room, adding on to the weight room. And then adding on rooms for in the front for more, aerobic capacity. Then there is, down here. If we end up going for the expansion, that good, we were telling the board earlier, that's. I'm struggling with that a little bit, so I'm going back and forth on that. We have a indoor soccer facility we want to put in. Been talking with, Oregon Potato on using the practice field and putting it into a facility that would be a multi-purpose room as well. There is a community building that has been talked about for us to put together. And I've gone back and forth on that. So there's projects that would
And we do
be,
need to vote on that.
yeah, you guys, yeah, you haven't missed anything on that.
We're trying to get so many things passed when you're on the.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
No, these are just still discussions. If, going through those lists of what people want, in our community. And then what's realistic for us to be able to do. So, and there's, the discussion of another RV park. Restaurant.
It's a big process anyways for the bond, just.
Yeah.
Everything for like the school, like we can have all these ideas and then the bond people come and then we have to have big groups that say, hey, what are we actually gonna go for, what's feasible, and then price and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's not,
I just know, talking to everybody. I want to if we're going to go for a bond, we want to go as soon as possible. And to me, I wish we could have been the first ones going for a bond. And set that bar of what it needs to be, because you're gonna see these businesses in the port, they're the ones that really gonna pay about 75% of these, taking care of this bond. And you look at,
When we get the numbers, I bet that'll be higher.
oh, I bet you it would be
Because it was
too.
almost, what, we passed the fire bond, it was, I think 75 then. And then there was like 18 of all the farms. That the general people were only paying like 7 cents on the dollar.
I know,
I think it's gonna be more than that because of all the Amazon. Yep.
I can tell you that the bond that we have right now, it was sold at 97 cents per thousand. It dropped down to,
Like 54 cents or.
yes, but this last one, the report was 34 cents. And then that was before we caught the mistake. And he said it's 29 cents. That's what the public, so we've been able to work that down because of the CREZ, of everything the port has done to bring in these businesses.
Okay.
And that's the part I'm really trying to encourage people to understand.
I'm glad we're waiting actually, because that way it shows what the park is doing, like the more things that you guys are providing.
Yeah.
So that way they're like, oh, they're doing this, they're seeing more happening, so they're gonna be more like, oh, yeah, we should.
You cannot believe the number of people that come up to me and said, I'm really glad you're doing all these activities for our community. I get that all the time. And there's reason we want to get more for our community. And I believe it, just like you're saying, I really believe that's gonna give us the support we need if we do want to have a bond. That it'll pass because of what we're doing.
Yeah, and I like how every event you're out there for every event.
My staff, it's the staff working their butts off. I'm not lying. We got workers that work hard and
are you gonna teach a class on the Facebook Live stuff for everybody?
no, because I'm not very good at it.
Thanks, yes, every time, I'm like, all right, what are we not?
So.
I like it.
4th of July is just around the corner, and I know I talked to you about this, but every year. The chamber charges all the booths, all the vendors. Money, and you guys, and the park gets nothing. They charge like 100, 150, depending if you use power, don't use power, and they keep all the revenue. I was like, I think the park needs to be on some of that.
So we want the fireworks to be paid for. And that goes to help pay for that.
They have a grant that they get, the fireworks are, everything's covered, it goes through the.
So we're actually a donator too, if you think about it. So that's, I guess that's how the old board had thought about it, was that the park is donating our space for the event. And so we are being kind to our town by donating our park for the event.
And staff and.
And
okay.
staff and cleanup, yeah, it's a lot, but, that's a great idea. It is a great idea. What would be even better is if we could get somebody to help clean up afterward, right?
Well, I'm just saying, cause I was on the chamber board and I know it's quite, everything that they do is covered by a grant. They get it from Curly or. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
So I know it's covered. So I don't know, get some more advertisement, cause I know, I think the last year was the first time they actually
Put us on.
put you somewhere,
Yeah,
on the thing.
I pushed that.
So
I agree with the advertisement.
Yep.
I don't know that I wanna start charging, cause I feel like we have such a big, give and take.
Yep,
on what
it's a
we
good
need from-
collaboration.
Yeah, from the different, entities, and. I don't know, I mean, that's like me saying that I felt like we needed to bring something up about the. Electricity that we're being charged on that thing over there, but we're not gonna rock that boat either, so. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I don't know that the,
Can you rock the boat for a second?
no. So the, I think that the cost of asking for something, a portion of something is gonna be outweigh the fact that if we just do it for free and ask for things later, we'll be much better off, but that's just my opinion. It's
I
opinion.
agree, the chamber of businesses and the chamber scratch a lot of people's backs for us. And anything we can do to keep them scratching those backs to reach the wheel. But I think I wouldn't want to upset that apple cart. And
Well, at least have them put your name more out there or something.
Yeah,
that you
I
guys
do
are-
agree with that. I do
Sponsors.
agree with that, Luis.
Let me
Yeah.
ask this. Here's one of the problems that I'm gonna tell you that I'm coming across, and it'll be when we go over the policy with you. You guys have got it set for July 4th to be a day off. It is not a day off for us. It is our busiest day. It's in our, part of the policy for our,
They are recreation.
so
So that's a day off. You guys-
it's technically a holiday.
It's a paid holiday.
It's a paid holiday.
Paid holiday.
So then
We work.
in the district like no time.
Can't you guys just switch it for, I know other companies do like.
We could, and I'm just gonna tell you, when we bring up policy, that is gonna be a suggestion that we do.
That's a whole nother subject.
That is.
So,
I'm just giving you a heads up.
Wow.
Cause we're talking about the 4th of July.
Oh.
That's why.
all right, Luis, anything else?
Nope, that was it.
Okay, anybody else before I talk? No?
It is, man. That's, no, it's.
you gonna talk about that?
Who?
The trails?
Yeah.
I brought it up
Yeah.
with maintenance.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, thank you.
Now, the only one you didn't bring up was the holes.
Well, because I talked to you already about it,
All right.
yeah. But yeah, for sure, having some kid put his foot in the
Yeah.
hole, we'd really like a temporary fix on that. Yeah,
Temporary, it's been temporary fixed back then.
Yeah.
well, we need something temporarily put in there again.
Yeah.
Whether it's
We,
old
we,
towels. for
we
crying
are
out
waiting,
loud. It's like
are waiting for
Non-temporary.
the asphalt, granite. Working with, the port on that, so we can repave the sections that need to be repaved, roots and everything.
We can get like one bag of concrete. Pull them in, even if it only lasts 2 months, at least it's
Full mix.
2 months that we won't have a risk of somebody falling in it.
Yeah.
Really?
2 days.
On our roads, it lasts.
It's the squirrels.
Wow.
yeah.
They dig it back out.
Yeah. That's the problem with this. They will push, they push underneath.
Prohibited
I
from
need a
poison.
coordinator, is what I need.
We got another,
Okay,
we're working
well,
on something.
we're
Not as public.
We're
or
on.
not?
Okay. So I want to talk under number 12 because I needed the board to understand that and let me back up. I realize that every single one of our board members has an enormous amount of responsibility outside of this board. Okay, I recognize that and I understand that. being pulled in a lot of different directions myself, and so I'm just letting you know ahead of time that come September range, I would imagine, maybe August, the leadership roles that I'm being asked to take might interfere with the roles here. So please prepare yourself, if you have to step in for meetings, or if I say, you know what, I need the whole month of September off, somebody else sign checks and deal with business, that will fall on the vice president and secretary to, take those roles. I'm not, and that's it, right? I just need time every now and again to have a break and to concentrate on my, my paying job. So I just wanted to put you guys on advance notice. I realize, I promise you, I understand you guys are 100% pulled in the same directions and
Well,
more.
honestly, that's not a problem at all. If you need anytime before then, if there's something,
Okay.
you can't be in 10 different places at once.
All right.
That's why
Yeah,
that's why we have a board, but that's
Right.
why you have a people down. So you
right.
can't do it. You gotta say, hey, John, I need you to do that. If I can't do it, then go say,
Okay.
let's just do it now. It's not, if you're getting over, like, there's a lot, everybody's a lot. Let's just share the load. It's like.
Perfect. That is fantastic. Thank you.
Out to May 14th.
So for whatever reasons, George can always find me at City Hall or in the city.
Yeah.
I'm always.
Oh, everyone's been
Mega.
great. Everyone's great.
Find me at the rec center.
With my new.
I did. I got it. We were in a meeting together. I said, hey, I need you to sign these checks tonight.
Yes, we signed one.
Yeah, everyone I trained.
Your other business, just to, you know, use your thinking cap on this board, and George, because there's a farmer, that has a very large building, and the only thing I hate that we're even on tape for this because I don't know the name of the building, but it's very similar to what, like a cleary building would be, you know, so it's a metal
Like a
comes in
Kwanzaa.
parts, and somebody pays a contractor to put these parts together, and eventually you have a building, right? It's
Kwanzaa.
not like being built from wood, it's metal.
Isn't that a Kwanzaa hut? Like a Kwanzaa hut?
Kwanzaa huts are a little smaller, but.
Okay, so when I'm talking about a building, I mean something the size of the rec center.
It's like a Butler building.
Okay.
Watson huts usually are, you know, like little half circle.
Yeah, no,
Like
this
the
is a
tailors
big,
And
yeah.
like the shop out here.
This was
It's like a
meant to be
huge shop.
something that would have been used for, commercial type of a
Okay.
structure.
Kind of like a, well, potato barn type.
But not a potato barn, similar in build though, I think.
Okay.
And you can elect obviously to put in your floors and your, you know what I mean? Obviously potato places don't have floors in there. It's dirt, but same type of building, I think, but not rounded.
Okay.
Okay, that type of materials, I think.
Okay.
And I can get more, I have the whole specs, so I can get the specs sent to me again. But that building, if, I don't know, when I heard it was there and it was for sale and nobody's constructing it and the person's trying to sell it, I thought it's just too bad that we don't have the ground to build that and put it as like an indoor soccer facility. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I thought of when I heard that you had it for sale. Is I thought, oh, that'd make a great indoor soccer
So
facility.
it's not constructed yet.
Oh, no.
He just got everything to put
It
it
was
together.
delivered, yeah, never constructed, and it's sitting in the port industrial area. And so I was like, man, but I mean, we're talking a really hefty price tag, right? Like $500,000 price tag, but it's all there and it just needs a contractor to put it together for another 200,000. But you know, it's just a thought. So you guys just kind of keep that in the back of your head. I mean, I don't even know where we put a structure like that because it
We
needs a
got a
lot of.
spot that's not approved yet, but we've been, like I said, Oregon Potato, he's talking to his supervisors about that. By using that practice
Measurements
field.
on that.
Okay.
So
I'll get you
Find
the
out if it
measurements.
has center supports. Some of those come with
So-
center supports.
So I have the full, like, engineer
Mhm.
specs. I just have to have them email it to me again. So I can give all that to
Yeah.
you if that helps.
Mhm.
And then you guys can see if it's a type of building that would work for anything.
That's great.
But, that. I
But it's
needed-
all here.
Yeah, it's already here already.
Do you
it's
know
not
how
like
much
you're
he's
paying
asking
for
for
shipping.
in reality?
I don't, now I'm with
All
record.
right, well,
I can't.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll-
but
we'll talk later.
yeah, but I'll try to get to the bottom of that.
Okay.
I think cost to put it together, was roughly, I want to say 250,000, put it together. But then that's not the cost of the building itself, right? But I was just thinking, man, when it's up and it would be just a phenomenal soccer facility. It would just be really cool, but I'll get the specs and share the specs at least with you, and you can take a look at it. If it's not something and I'm completely off my rocker, then you can just, like that won't work. But if not, then, great, maybe it's something you guys can get some grant money for, whatever. And I just know the community would be super happy over
Oh, yeah.
something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have any other business? Number 13? If not, then we're going to temporarily adjourn. No objections? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and temporarily adjourn our meeting. And George, so I am gonna, and we have all our board members, I'm so sorry. Oh, great, we are reconvening the regular session of the Boardman Parks and Rec District, 8:59, and we are going to adjourn. Oh, no, it being no further business, correct? Does anybody have any further business? All right, then let's head and adjourn at 8:59, and if somebody could scribble 8:59 adjourn on. Perfect, all right.
You need these back, is this on the $50?
Let me shred those for you.
Making sure, because I can't take it. Because
Ron, you want me to shred?
You shredding everything?
I am. Yep. It's gotta be.
Not shredding our comments, are you? No, what we filled out on George?
Yeah, you should.
I kept notes.
Okay, well, we have something to compare to next year.
Well,
You're not saying?
You'll have,
Bye, guys.
just take them and put them in a. Everybody scan them to you, right?
Yeah.
Then just take that, scan and just put them in a file. That's 2020, you can do that.
Okay,
Next year when we
That's
have
better.
an evaluation and the things that we wanted to look on,
yeah, I'll
we should
just,
have something,
where to put his crop circles in.
Yeah.
something to compare it to.
I have to get my ADD in control.
It's okay, no worries, no worries. All right, yeah, I will go through and find those, so I'll put your save notation.
Thanks, guys, that was fun.
Pages from, thank you.
Have a good one.
Save notation pages from surveys.